The year may be coming to an end, but the news in the gaming world is far from over. While many things seem to be slowing down, the gaming universe is still going strong, and the biggest releases are yet to come. Incredible surprises and promising games are on the horizon, and the list of the most anticipated titles just keeps growing. There are still plenty of great games to be released, and some of them are poised to compete for Game of the Year. Hey, it's Jax here. If you're new to the Play Hunters channel, welcome. I bring you daily content so you don't miss any details about the gaming universe. And if you could subscribe to help me grow, I'd be super happy. From one gamer to another. First on our list is Dragon Age, the Veilguard, promising an even deeper immersion into the already well-established universe of the franchise, elevating the narrative to a new level. What's been revealed so far suggests that the plot will explore the hidden forces maintaining the balance between the physical and spiritual worlds. The promise of a rich narrative, combined with choices that truly affect the outcome of events, has fans excited for this new chapter. If the best games in the saga are remembered for their captivating stories, this one could follow a similar path. The gameplay seems to follow a similar line to previous games, but with improvements in combat and customization mechanics. The battle system is being designed to be dynamic and fluid, allowing players to explore different combat styles and strategic adaptations. This flexibility should keep battles engaging and fast-paced, something highly valued in RPGs that aim to go beyond simple hack and slash. Visually, what's been shown so far is impressive. The detailed environments and interaction with the surroundings seem to be contributing to an immersive experience. The expectation is that the game will deliver cutting-edge graphics with special attention to detail, offering an attractive combination of exploration, action, and complex decisions, always with the polished aesthetic expected from games of this caliber. Next up, we have Indiana Jones, one of the most anticipated games that promises to bring all the adventure atmosphere characteristic of the series to the gaming world. What's been revealed so far shows a storyline full of mysteries, legendary artifacts, and, of course, plenty of danger. Everything indicates that players will have the chance to explore iconic settings filled with traps, puzzles, and challenging adversaries. If the promise of capturing the essence of the best exploration games comes true, there's reason to expect great excitement. In terms of gameplay, the focus seems to be on offering an experience that blends exploration, combat, and puzzle solving. The action mechanics promise to be agile, with a fluid hand-to-hand combat system, along with intense chases in different types of vehicles. For those who enjoy games involving historical environment exploration, this project stands out for its variety and attention to detail. The game seems to be betting big on grand and detailed settings. Locations like ancient ruins and lost cities are shown with impressive graphics and rich environments, which could contribute to greater immersion in the adventure. The combination of exploration, action, and a good dose of mystery promises to attract both longtime fans and new players looking for an engaging and adrenaline-filled game. In third place on the list, post-trauma emerges as a promise to bring a unique approach to the psychological horror genre. What's been revealed so far suggests that players will be immersed in a disturbing world where the line between reality and hallucination is thin. With an intriguing narrative focused on suspense, the game seems to be building a tense atmosphere that will challenge the sanity of both the character and the player. The gameplay promises a slower, investigative experience, prioritizing the exploration of mysterious environments and puzzle solving. The mechanics seem reminiscent of classic horror games, with purposeful limitations imposed on the character to amplify the feeling of vulnerability. This type of choice could help increase the tension, making players question their perceptions and creating a dense and immersive atmosphere. On the visual side, what's been shown so far highlights oppressive and detailed environments, with intelligent use of shadows and light to amplify the psychological terror. This careful attention to atmosphere is raising expectations for a game that can grip players from beginning to end. Next, we have Slitterhead, a game that promises a different approach to the horror genre. The first images and information suggest a macabre environment, where bizarre creatures and grotesque transformations are part of everyday life. The plot hints at a mix of visceral horror with a touch of surrealism, which has already piqued the curiosity of many fans of darker games. The studio behind the game seems to be betting on a narrative that challenges players to face horrors in a unique way, something that has the potential to stand out among the best horror games. The gameplay appears to be quite fast-paced, combining quick action with moments of psychological terror. The combat promises to be intense, with the need to quickly adapt to threats that emerge in unpredictable ways. There's an expectation that players will have to make quick and strategic decisions to survive, creating a constant atmosphere of tension. This balance between combat and an oppressive atmosphere could be what makes the game stand out within the genre. Graphically, it grabs attention with its grotesque and detailed creature designs, along with dark, decaying urban settings. The art direction seems to focus on creating a visual contrast between the familiar and the utterly disturbing, amplifying the sense of discomfort. All this points to a game that could surprise horror fans with its creativity and boldness. In fifth place on our list, Stalker 2 promises to bring back all the dark and oppressive atmosphere that made the first game iconic. The previews show a devastated post-apocalyptic world filled with dangers lurking around every corner. The narrative seems to continue the series' tradition of exploring themes of survival, despair, and the consequences of a world steeped in radiation. For those who enjoy games that combine exploration and tension, this could be one of the big releases on the horizon. The gameplay promises to be robust, mixing action with moments of exploration and tactical planning. Players will have to manage scarce resources, face challenging combat, and deal with the constant threat of mutants and rival factions. Every decision in this universe could mean the difference between life and death, which should keep the game's pace engaging. This constant sense of being at risk is what many consider the strong point of the series. Visually, the game impresses with its devastated landscapes and detailed environments, which help create a realistic sense of destruction. The atmosphere is enhanced by dynamic weather effects and dramatic lighting, further contributing to the immersion. All this suggests that Stalker 2 will deliver a visually impactful experience, combined with tense and challenging gameplay. Next, we have Silent Hill 2 Remake, one of the most anticipated games by psychological horror fans. This remake of the classic promises to bring all the anguish and suspense of the original, now with modern graphics and an enhanced immersive experience. Early gameplay reveals a faithful reconstruction of the dark and desolate atmosphere that made the original so iconic. This project has everything to attract both veterans and a new generation of players looking for the best games in the genre. The gameplay is being revamped, bringing the series' characteristic tension, but with more fluid and accessible controls and mechanics. The exploration of the deserted town and the encounters with terrifying creatures seem to have been preserved, with the addition of new elements that intensify the feeling of fear and vulnerability. The blend of combat and puzzle solving, so present in the original, will likely gain new layers, making each moment unpredictable. Visually, the remake is impressing with meticulous details in the settings and creatures. The use of light and shadow is key to enhancing the suspense, creating moments of pure psychological terror. Everything suggests that this new version will retain the essence of the original game while bringing a refreshed look and adjusted mechanics for the current audience. In seventh place on our list, Diablo 4. Vessel of Hatred promises to be a significant expansion within the dark and macabre universe of the franchise. Early information suggests an engaging plot that dives even deeper into the battles between heaven and hell, with corruption and chaos lurking around every corner. The atmosphere seems to maintain the dark tone characteristic of the series, while promising to further expand the complexity of the story. It's the kind of game that could captivate both longtime fans and new players looking for immersive adventures in the action RPG genre. In terms of gameplay, The expectation is that the fast-paced, intense combat, which is a hallmark of the franchise, will remain the focus, but with improvements to the skill system and character customization. The addition of new enemies and gigantic bosses seems to raise the level of challenge, providing epic battles and adrenaline-filled moments. This frenetic pace is an essential part of what makes the best action RPG games so addictive and engaging. What's been revealed so far shows a devastated world filled with macabre details and an oppressive atmosphere. The dark setting is complemented by impressive visual effects, which heighten the sense of chaos and destruction. The combination of desolate environments and demonic creatures promises a visually impactful and tension-filled experience. Next up, we have Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, which arrives to refresh the electrifying battles of the Dragon Ball universe. What's been shown so far indicates a major focus on epic, dynamic combat, with impressive fidelity to the iconic visuals of the series. The promise is to deliver fights that transport players to the most intense moments of the anime, with fluid animations and visual effects that elevate the adrenaline in each confrontation. The gameplay seems to be focused on maintaining the fast-paced rhythm and intensity of the battles, where players can unleash special attacks, powerful transformations, and devastating combos. The battle arena promises to be expansive, allowing for high-speed combat that seamlessly blends ground and aerial attacks. For fans of fighting games, this combination of elements is always a big draw. Sparking Zero appears to bring detailed graphics that capture the essence of the anime, but with a modern touch. The explosions, light effects, and animations are being designed to create total immersion in the Dragon Ball universe. This could turn each battle into a true epic showdown, with the visuals and action in perfect harmony. In ninth place on our list, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is already generating high expectations for fans of the first-person shooter franchise. The information revealed suggests that the story will continue to explore tactical war settings with that conspiratorial touch that has become a hallmark of the series. The promise is of an engaging narrative, full of twists and high-tension moments, something that always ensures a good dose of adrenaline for those seeking the best action games. In terms of gameplay, the traditional formula of fast and precise combat is expected, but with some new features that should elevate the level of strategy and customization. In addition to the familiar weapons and gear, the game is set to introduce new movement and combat mechanics, along with a more detailed progression system. This focus on intense action, combined with refined tactics, is one of the series' main attractions. Visually, the franchise has always been a standout, and this time should be no different. Detailed environments, special effects, and realistic settings are part of what's been shown so far, creating a visually impactful experience. This immersion, combined with the frenetic pace of combat, promises to captivate both veteran players and new fans looking for an intense and strategic war experience. Next, we have Life is Strange Double Exposure, a game that promises to follow the emotional and narrative legacy of its predecessors. Early previews indicate that the story will continue to focus on tough choices, intense relationships, and moral dilemmas, themes that have always set the franchise apart. This time, the story seems to delve even deeper into questions of identity and perception of reality, drawing players into an engaging plot filled with mysteries to uncover. The gameplay should remain centered on the decision-making mechanic, where each choice affects the unfolding of the story and the fate of the characters. The standout feature lies in the protagonist's special abilities, which will offer new ways to interact with the world, creating opportunities to explore different approaches in each situation. This type of immersion is what keeps fans eagerly awaiting the game, as it brings a level of depth that few games can achieve. The series' characteristic artistic style remains present. The vibrant color palette and expressive design help to create a strong connection with the narrative, making the experience even more immersive. All of this comes together to create an engaging atmosphere where each scene is loaded with emotion and meaning. In 11th place on our list, Dragon Quest III Remake is one of the most anticipated titles for fans of classic RPGs. The first images revealed show that the game will be a faithful remake of the original, but with a refreshed aesthetic, combining 2D and 3D graphics in the famous HD 2D style. This blend promises to bring a nostalgic feeling for those who played the original, while also attracting new players with its visual beauty and adjusted mechanics. The gameplay is expected to follow the traditional turn-based RPG style, preserving the essence that made the series so popular, but with some refinements. The hope is that the game will bring new ways to explore the world and improvements to the combat system, offering a more fluid and dynamic experience. For fans of RPGs that value both strategy and narrative, this remake promises to be a real treat. The game impresses with how it combines the classic style with modern elements. The detailed animations, along with the rich environment, create an immersion that can captivate both nostalgic players and newcomers to the franchise. This contrast between retro visuals and modern improvements may be what makes the remake so special among the best RPG games. Next, we have Metal Gear Solid Delta, which is generating a lot of excitement with its return as a remake. The story promises to revive the iconic plot of the original game, but with completely updated visuals and refined gameplay. The plot involves espionage, political intrigue, and a dense storyline that cemented the series as one of the best stealth action games in gaming history, and the early previews suggest that this return will be epic. The gameplay is expected to maintain the essence of tactical stealth that made the game so unique, but with significant improvements to controls and action fluidity. The infiltration and survival mechanics will likely be modernized, without losing the characteristic tension. Those looking for games with immersive stealth mechanics and deep strategies are certainly keeping an eye on this remake. The project is being rebuilt with high-definition graphics, and the jungle settings and military facilities promise to be recreated with great detail. The lighting, textures, and special effects are being designed to create a complete immersion, giving players the feeling of being directly inside the game. This visual care, combined with refined gameplay, could make the remake a landmark for fans of the franchise. In 13th place, Farming Simulator 25 promises to further expand the already vast world of virtual farming. The information released so far suggests even greater immersion, with improved graphics and new mechanics for farm management. Fans of the best simulation games are already looking forward to the updates, which include even more detailed machines and the possibility of expanding their operations in an increasingly realistic open world. The gameplay remains focused on farm management, from planning to harvesting, but with innovations that promise to make the experience deeper. New crops, animals, and customization options seem to be part of the package, giving players the chance to diversify their farms and make them even more profitable. Those who enjoy rural life simulation games can expect a rich experience full of details and strategic choices. The game is being designed to bring an even higher level of realism, with detailed environments and dynamic weather and season cycles. The farming machinery is represented with an impressive level of precision, and the landscapes promise to be vast and varied. These visual elements are essential to increasing immersion and ensuring that every detail contributes to the feeling of managing a real farm. Next, we have New World Aeternum, an expansion that promises to bring new horizons to the already established universe of New World. The story is expected to expand the main plot, allowing players to explore uncharted parts of Aeternum Island, filled with magic and ancient secrets. With the addition of new factions and mysteries to uncover, the narrative promises to be even more engaging, bringing new layers of complexity to the game's mythology. In terms of gameplay, the expansion is expected to follow the real-time combat style that has already won over many players, but with the introduction of new progression mechanics and fresh challenges. New dungeons, dangerous areas, and formidable enemies are set to intensify the pace of battles, requiring a more refined strategic approach. Exploration will also gain more depth, with new areas and hidden treasures that should keep players engaged. Aeternum promises to expand the world of New World with impressive detail. More diverse environments, enhanced visual effects, and dynamic lighting will contribute to an even more immersive experience. The variety of landscapes, from dark forests to ancient ruins, along with dynamic weather, should ensure that every adventure brings a new sense of discovery. In 15th place, No More Room in Hell 2 promises to intensify the horror and survival atmosphere that won over fans of the original game. The sequel follows the same path as its predecessor, with a brutal zombie apocalypse where resource scarcity and player cooperation are crucial for survival. The new narrative is set to expand this horror universe with more challenges and situations where every decision could mean life or death. The gameplay remains focused on cooperation, requiring precise coordination between players as they face hordes of zombies and explore dangerous environments. New weapons and defense mechanics have been introduced to increase immersion, along with larger and more interactive play areas. The tense and strategic style, mixing action and stealth, should keep players constantly on edge, characteristic of the best survival games. The graphics have also received a major update compared to the first game. The environments are more detailed, lighting effects bring a more realistic touch, and the zombie animations are even more terrifying. The dark and oppressive atmosphere, reinforced by the sounds and devastated settings, promises to create an intense and visually impactful survival experience. Next, we have Metaphor, ReFantazio, an RPG with a bold proposal, mixing fantasy and surreal elements. What has been revealed so far suggests a rich and complex story, set in a fantasy world with deep philosophical and emotional themes. The plot seems to focus on personal and existential dilemmas, as players navigate an enchanted yet challenging world. This kind of unique narrative promises to attract players who enjoy games with engaging stories that go beyond the traditional. The gameplay seems to be following a mix of action and strategy. The combat system is expected to offer a dynamic approach, with real-time battles but a focus on tactical decisions. The character customization and progression mechanics appear to be robust, giving players many options to shape their adventure and playstyle. This flexibility should appeal to RPG fans who appreciate varied challenges and a high degree of control over their choices. The game impresses with its unique and detailed aesthetic. The character and environment design showcases a blend of styles, from classic fantasy to surrealism. This combination of visual and narrative elements makes this RPG one of the most anticipated in the genre. In 17th place, Path of Exile 2 promises to raise the bar for the franchise, bringing a new campaign and significant improvements to the already renowned mechanics. The story takes place many years after the events of the first game, and previews suggest a more mature and engaging narrative. With new characters and plot twists, the campaign further expands the dark and mysterious universe, maintaining the essence that made the original one of the best free-to-play action RPGs available. The gameplay follows the fast-paced and challenging style, with frantic combat and an even more complex skill tree. The gem system has been revamped, allowing for deeper customization of attacks and abilities, offering a vast range of strategic options. The improvements in gameplay should make the battles even more dynamic, with new bosses and challenges that will require refined skills and strategies from players. Graphically, Path of Exile 2 shows remarkable evolution. The environments are more detailed and varied, with light and shadow effects that enhance the immersion in each area explored. The animations have been significantly improved, making combat more fluid and visually impactful. These technical upgrades, combined with solid gameplay, are positioning the game as one of the most anticipated releases for fans of the genre. Next, we have Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, a game that enters our list as a bonus since it was recently delayed to early next year. The game promises to expand the vast medieval world of the first game, offering an even deeper and more realistic experience. The story, set shortly after the events of the original, is expected to continue the saga with political intrigue epic battles, and a plot focused on the complexity of life in the medieval period. The goal is to maintain the realism and authenticity that made the first game a success, while elevating the narrative with new challenges and memorable characters. The gameplay is being developed to improve combat, which has always been one of the series' trademarks. The fighting system, already considered one of the most realistic in the genre, is expected to gain more fluidity, with more varied movements and tactics. New resource management and survival systems are being incorporated, making the experience even more challenging for those seeking games focused on simulation and historical realism. In terms of graphics, a significant evolution is expected compared to the first title. The medieval settings, already impressive, are being further detailed, taking advantage of new lighting and texturing technologies. The immersion will be enhanced by a living world, where every village, forest, and castle is portrayed with authenticity. This visual attention to detail promises to offer an immersive and visually stunning experience, ideal for fans of games set in the medieval era. As a second bonus on our list, we have Assassin's Creed Shadows, which was originally planned for release this year, but was also delayed to early next year. The plot is expected to explore a little-known historical era, focusing on espionage and conspiracies, bringing stealth missions and assassination strategies that promise to recapture the classic essence of the series. The gameplay seems to have evolved with more refined stealth mechanics and greater interaction with the environment. Players will need to use intelligence to eliminate enemies undetected, exploring different approaches and routes. The promise of more fluid and tactical combat, combined with new abilities and tools, should keep the pace fast and engaging, appealing to fans who enjoy the stealthier games in the franchise. The game offers a detailed recreation of the historical period, with enhanced graphics and smoother animations. The light and shadow effects are expected to create the perfect ambience for the espionage theme, providing an impactful visual immersion. The delay seems to have allowed more time to polish these aspects, increasing the expectation for a release that lives up to the series' legacy. And the question remains, which one are you most excited to play? Will Dragon Age be the standout, or will Silent Hill deliver the psychological horror everyone's hoping for? And of course, there's always that one game that, just by looking at it, makes you wonder, will it really be worth it? Which one do you think might disappoint? Is there a game that didn't make the list, but you're dying to play? Leave your opinion in the comments. I want to know which game you're most excited for, which one you think could be a flop, and if there's one we missed. Don't forget to subscribe to Play Hunters and activate notifications so you stay on top of everything happening in the gaming world, and make sure you don't miss any important releases. I'm leaving a card with a video featuring games every gamer should play at least once. Just click to watch. Big hugs, and see you tomorrow.